What's up, everybody? Cigar Sherpa Laird Mayhew back with another cigar review, and today I've got the Blackbird Rook in Robusto. Stay tuned.
I can smoke stogies in my house. First of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
All right. Welcome back to another cigar review here at Cigar Sherpa. I, of course, am your host, Laird Mayhew, and if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. If this is not your first time here, then welcome back. It is always good to see you. And I know I have gotten, I won't pretend like I got thousands and thousands of texts, but I've gotten a few texts lately about the number of cigar reviews that I'm putting out has dropped to about one a week. And that is because I have just been so busy, and it is fishing season. These Spanish mackerel are running down the Atlantic coast right now, and I'm just addicted to busting those Spanish mackerel. So I apologize. I will do my best to try to get more than one a week out. I need to smoke more cigars between work and fishing. My cigar count has dropped to about 2 a day, and for me that's low. So as my intro said, I have got the Blackbird Rook, okay, in Robusto. Don't know a whole lot about this cigar. I'm tasting it blind. I've never smoked one before, and it comes by way of subscriber Joe Cali up in the People's Republic of New Yorkistan sent me a sample pack. I mentioned in the end of the last review that I was going to pick one of these, and I smoked one of them with the purple band, and I can't remember, was that the Raven? And I really liked that cigar. I mean, it was very boutique. And I should have looked up more information about this brand and who's behind it, but I have absolutely no clue. It's a blind tasting, even though I know what I'm smoking. You're going to smoke it with me for the first time. It is a Robusto, so it's 5x50. It's got a Sumatra Colorado wrapper, okay? It says Colorado, the Rook Colorado on the bottom of the band. And normally it's got a red hue to the band, and it does. Probably can see more so in the sun, but under the lights here, I kind of seen it today when I had it with me, close to the window in the light. Very well made cigar too, but I'll get to that. It's got a Dominican Habano binder, and it's got Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers, okay? And construction on this cigar is it is like one of the best made cigars that I have touched in a while. I don't smoke no cheap cigars, although I have smoked a few. This thing is great. It's got a very nicely put on triple cap. The cap's not exactly circular, but it's laid down completely flat with no wrinkles. It has very tight visible seams, and it's got a very good density to it. It's dense, but it's not heavy, and it's not light. It's just right in between. If you get a cigar that's too light, usually it's very airy, or it is too dry. And if you get one that's really heavy, it's usually packed in there too much, or it might be too humid. But this thing smells great. It smells like barn. This is like one of the most or the best barnyard smells on a cigar that I've smelled in a long time. And it just really smacks you in the face. And there's a spiciness to the smell as well. I mean, it's got a sweet, spicy barnyard smell, and I know people are like, barnyard manure, but when it comes to cigars, it's a very good smell. So it gets me excited. So I'm going to give this thing, I think I'm going to use a punch today. I'm going to give it a punch and a light. I'm going to come back and tell you what I think about it. Stay tuned. All right. So right away, okay, I got a good coffee flavor right away. Good black coffee. Very, black pepper. Retrohale. Ooh, that's stinging. That is good. And right away, and this doesn't happen to me a lot, right away I'm getting a very rich, like creamy smoke. Very rich. I won't call it creamy yet. It's not oily, but it's very rich. And black coffee. Pepper. And there's a spice right away. very slight, very, very slight spice, almost like a cinnamon or nutmeg. No, like a dry nutmeg. Huh. So far, so good. I'll tell you what, the pepper on the retrohale on this sucker is, I always tell them, watch out, be careful. I know I retrohale. A lot of people wait in the beginning of a cigar to kind of, work themselves into it, and they blow about half the smoke out of their mouth, and they pull a little bit out, blow a little bit out their nose, and but I just do it right from the beginning. It's a natural thing. I've covered that before. I really can't help it, but I like it. Burning real good. The draw is absolutely perfect on this thing. There's the spice. It's getting sweeter too. Okay, I'm gonna sit on this thing. I'm gonna sip on it and come back in the first third and tell you what I think about it from there. Stay tuned. All right. We are in the first third here. We are approximately 10 minutes into it, and this thing is burning great. It's not razor sharp. Again, they hardly ever do for me, probably because I smoked them too fast, but this thing is burning good. The draw is perfect, construction's perfect, and the flavor transitions are outstanding. And this is not a full strength cigar like I'm used to, and I'm actually enjoying it. It's more of a medium. It's on the plus side of medium, but it's very, very mellow. It's got a sweetness to it that I really can't figure out exactly how to convey it. It is spicy. It's got a good cinnamon spice there now, that baker spice, but the cinnamon I can really taste. It's got a natural sweetness. The smoke is very creamy. It's got a very light, creamy, and fruity taste. So imagine like a fruity, creamy coffee with a little bit of spice. The black pepper lingers on the lingers on the retrohale, and it kind of coats your mouth with a nice oily finish and a little bit of a tangle. I don't know much about this company. It's a new, I'm guessing it's a boutique blend. Jonas Santana is the man behind. I guess he's the blender behind the line. I don't know anything about him, but I guarantee you after this review, Mr. Santana, I'll know all about you because this is a good cigar. And I'm going to tell you, I think I said it back in November. The question on one of the forums that I frequent on Facebook, I think it might have been international cigar smokers, asked what our opinions were on where the cigar industry was going in 2020. And my response was, boutique cigars are going to be the name of the game. They're going to rule the day. And so far in my world that I live in and that I exist in the cigar world, it is. I mention a name of a cigar. We'll be talking about cigars and I'll say, yeah, but I like the, let's say the Reserve Real from Romeo and Juliet from Altitas. They have a new one out, or a newer one out, that Reserve Real by AJ Fernandez, and I've got one, and I can't wait to try it and review it. But I mentioned that name, and people just curl their lip at me because it's Altitas. Even the Aging Room, I'm a big fan of Aging Room and Rafael Nadal, and people are just they're. It's almost like not hip and cool to be with the big box brands and the boutique blends because they're kicking, but they're not bland. They may not be your cup of tea. They may be too strong. But you find the flavor that you like in a boutique cigar, and the flavors are just complex and rich. And it's kind of like the difference between getting like how do I put this without comparing cigars to something? When someone just puts some extra love into it, like you can go to Applebee's and get a good cheeseburger. Okay, if you're a cheeseburger guy, you know what I'm talking about. They are okay cheeseburger, right? It's good. It's actually pretty good. But you go to one of these mom and pop joints or one of these boutique like artsy, you walk inside and they got art on the wall and it's really nice and they're really into cooking their food and they just put a little bit of extra something on that in the meat patty and the sauces and the aiolis or whatever the hell they put on there, and it's like a little bit of extra love, and that's what you're getting out of these boutique blends. They make them in small batches. They really pay attention to them, and you get a high quality for your buck. And I am rambling here. I am going to shoot on into the second, third, and come back and tell you what I think about it from there. Stay tuned. All right, all right, all right. We are in the second third of this cigar. It is smoking great. It is burning damn near razor sharp. It's got a nice, that ash held on for a good inch and a half, 2 inches. I ashed it. It would still be hanging on if I didn't. If that sort of thing excites you, it's got a very nice feel to it too when you hold it in your hands. It's got a nice oily, that Colorado Sumatra wrapper. It's got a very, very nice like oily feel to it. It's very, very well packed. It's perfectly like round. It just feels really good. The flavors in the second third are about the same as the first. The sweetness and the baker spice kind of get more bold and spicy. Like now the pepper spice is being replaced by like a not a red pepper, almost like when you get spicy cinnamon candy and you like a red hot or something like that, and it leaves that like burning in your nose. That's what I'm getting on this. Smoke is plentiful. It's very creamy and leaves an oily finish. The one bad thing, not bad, it's not bad, it's what I don't like, and it's kind of going away right now. It kind of picked up a tang to it, and it reminded me of like pencil lead, or like when you chew on a number 2 pencil like when you were a kid. And it kind of reminded me of the Dominican cigars of the early 2000s, late 90s, something like a Don Diego. Not that the flavor of this cigar is far superior to that, so don't think I'm not comparing it to a Don Diego. But when you would exhale and the smoke would leave your mouth and you would have that finishing taste on your palate, it kind of had like a very light, leady pencil, like number 2 pencil taste to it. And this had that. It's not as prominent now since I started recording. When I marked it down as a tang, and I don't care for that. It's very slight right now, but this is like on the verge of being, medium to full, but there's a lightness to it on the finish. Like when you pull the smoke in and it's in your nostrils and it's in your mouth and you're swirling it around and you're tasting it, you get a very strong sensation of flavors, almost like a very robustness. But then you exhale it and that robustness becomes very smooth and very light. So I don't know if that was part of the recipe there, but so far I am enjoying this thing, and I'm really impressed. So again, Blackbird cigars, the purple band one, I think it was a Raven. I just smoked it on my back porch. I really didn't take any notes. I just wanted to see. Joe sent me a sampler, all right, 5-pack. So I've got all their. I think there was a red and a yellow. And, they're named after birds, obviously, Blackbird. This is named after the Rook, which is, I guess it's a crow. I don't know much about it. I have heard of a Rook before. It's kind of the crow family. It's kind of got like a bluish, it's black, but in the sunlight, it's kind of like blue and purple hue to it. I'm not a bird guy, but I know a Rook is the like a crow. But they're, I think there was the Raven that I smoked, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. And if I remember that one correctly, it was very... It was like this one, but stronger. So anyway, I'm going to give this thing into the final third and come back and tell you what I think about it from there. So stay tuned. All right. We are coming into the final third, and we are just at 45 minutes into this cigar, and I still got 10, 15 minutes left. Burning absolutely great. The construction of this cigar, far superior to most of the cigars that I've smoked this year. So on this channel or just in general, it is now just developing a slight, whatever you want to call that, a run or a canoe, but it's not affecting the flavor. The smoke is at like a perfect temperature. It doesn't get too hot. It's not too cool. It's very, very, very robust. Very, very good, deep, dark tobacco flavors for those of you that are not into flavor notes. Even if you're not into flavor notes and you smoke the cigar, you're going to pick up that spiciness. It's going to tingle your mouth a little bit, and there's a natural sweetness to it. But as far as us geeks that get into like flavor notes and try to find like all these crazy like Crayola crayon flavors and stuff like that I've been called that before. A guy said, "Oh, next you're going to start tasting Crayola crayons." But honestly, this is what I taste. It's what the smells, the nuances remind me of. So there's a big debate in the cigar community on whether or not us cigar reviewers are just talking to hear ourselves talk or what, but whatever. I ain't going to touch on this. On this cigar, that tang that I was talking about, that leady tang, that pencil-like flavor is gone. And coming into the final third, the coffee, the black coffee flavor gets very, very rich, like a silty black coffee. I wouldn't say Turkish coffee because it's not that strong, but it's like a very, very silty black coffee nuance that comes in. The spice is still there. The pepper's still there. The pepper in the retrohale kind of subsides, and it kind of gets real smooth. It doesn't really burn as much. But the dried fruit nuance that is there and that creamy smoke goes nowhere. I mean, it's just a very, very enjoyable cigar to smoke, especially if you like spicy notes. And it's only medium bodied, maybe a little medium plus, but it's very robust, but it's not full. Okay, it's just very, very smooth, and I would say mild to medium is what I'm going to call it. But very good cigar, very well made cigar. Again, this is the Blackbird from Blackbird Cigar Company, and like I said, I didn't know much about this cigar or whoever the people behind it. Jonas Santana is the blender behind it. Again, it's a boutique cigar. I'm smoking the Robusto at 5x50. And Daily Arsenal, absolutely, because everywhere I looked up anywhere from $7 to $8, $7.50, $7.89, and I just settled on $7.50. That's about where this thing lands. Definitely a Daily Arsenal cigar. You could buy a box of these cigars, and man, you would probably go through them. So I'm very impressed with it. I can't wait to... You know what? Let me add another flavor note to that. There's a vegetal note here in the final third, and vegetal, I don't really know how to explain that. You taste it in a lot of your Cuban cigars, okay? Especially like the Cohiba Talisman or the Partagas Series D. Most Cuban cigars have like that distinct, grass, hay, like that damp hay. Mustiness to them, and they got a vegetal, especially on the Cohiba's got a very vegetal taste to it. I'm picking a vegetal note up in here in the final third. So, anyway, tip my hat to Jonas Santana there at Blackbird Cigars. Again, big thanks to Joe Cali for hooking us up here, sending me the cigar so I could review it, and I'm going to call it at that. Cigar Sherpa, Laird Mayhew, reminding you to be polite to everybody that you meet and always have a backup plan in case you got to shoot them in the face. And I'm out.